Hey, thank goodness it's Friday. And I'm going out for lunch, and I'm going for a haircut, and I'm going to run through my favorite little grocery outlet while I'm in town. I have to travel to the next town. But mentoring and leadership is really what's on my heart these last few days. And at Toastmasters, 30 years as a Toastmaster, a distinguished Toastmaster, I have studied communication and leadership for 30 years. And I've had to lead myself through the financial world for 40 years. I'm chuckling because I added in to somebody that asked me, what do you bring to the world? And I said, oh, I bring my crone wisdom. And it made them chuckle. And I was doing it out of fun, thinking, I don't know if very many people understand the crone and the crone wisdom, but I'm quite taken with it. You see, in the world of woman, the feminine, the creation, everybody has some feminine, masculine in, but it's just that the men have more masculine and the women have more feminine in general. But the woman, the feminine energy is the child, so the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And those are the stages. So the maiden, and then the mother, the marriage comes in, and the creation of life, the birthing. And when that is past, which is past for me, you now come into the crone stage, the wisdom of the life experienced. So that's who I am, crone wisdom. But the mentoring and leadership, Dr. Myles Munroe, if you read the little article, says no matter how great you may have been, I put the capitals and the emphasis on may, no matter how great you may have been, if you didn't produce a successor, you are a failure. I'm going to say that one more time. No matter how great you may have been, if you didn't produce a successor, you are a failure. Well, we can say within kings and queens, the king wanted the successor and, of course, wanted a male successor. And Queen Elizabeth, 70 years on the throne, female. So a lot of this stuff is man-made rules, and other is universe law. But no matter how great you may have been. So now how does that come back to the Toastmasters? Because right now, all across the world, all the many, I forget how many, there's 200,000 or 300,000 Toastmaster members, and I forget how many clubs. I'm not good on those details. But everywhere we're having elections for the new leaders to step in. And within Toastmasters, having that change of guard, having that change of executive is where we practice and learn how to be a president, how to be in charge of education and helping members move along in their goals, how to be a secretary, how to work together as an executive team, how to evaluate each other. We learn so much in Toastmasters. And election time is that opportunity to attract and encourage and persuade others to not be afraid to step up. So the president has to give up that power and hand it to the next one to learn that organizational skill. The one that's been in charge of education has to give up that, wow, look at what I'm bringing out of people, to the next one who gets to experience that. And as we build those successors, we have to be standing beside them, behind them, encouraging them along. And if they have any stumbles, how did you deal with that and bring it along? We have to be lifting others. So whether it's our family name that continues or doesn't continue because we didn't give birth to a child and continue the name, we didn't give birth to a boy to continue the name. All of that is about successor. A business owner, for instance, if you want to ever, ever, ever retire, but you don't want the business to die, you must have somebody coming up behind to buy it or take it over, trained in how this business operates, you see. So that's really, really critical to think about. No matter how great you may have been, there is a handing over of the reins. Even if you're not finished, you might be stepping up into the next level of leadership, but you need a successor here to make room for you to move on up. It's required, or you're going to be stuck. And if you're stuck in a position where somebody else needs to be in that position, what's going to happen? There's going to be an election. So really be very, very careful. It is election time for us. It brings it to the top of my mind. But personal leadership and growth means making way for the flow and handing over and exchanging, becoming part of the team. And somebody else leads that team. But you can't lead a team if you're not part of a team. And a team means bringing everyone together. That's the leadership aspect. And it's really tough being the leader of leaders. Everybody, oh my goodness, there's so much learning that happens. I hope that you're taking a look at Toastmasters, because it's going to be the most inexpensive fashion and way you can ever have of getting into communication and leadership. With my coaching, I help people that need to accelerate or already have a good grounding and they need it to really have impact and connection. That's what I do as well. So sometimes it's just an individual item that needs to be a little talked over, and other times it's stepping into our greatness, recognizing the power of our words. The power of our words. So take time to think them through. Step into leadership within your own life through the power of word. That's it for today, folks. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. I'm going for a haircut. I'm going for a lunch out, and I'm going for a stroll through my favorite little grocery outlet. Oh, thank goodness the weekend is here. Coach Sandra, compassionate queen of straight talk. You can do it. You can step into leadership. You can relinquish leadership. You can follow. You can support. You can raise others up. You can raise yourself up. You can do it, and I can help. All the best.